Have you written a TV pilot that should work but somehow doesn't? Maybe it has a great concept, strong characters, even some snappy dialogue, but still when you pitch it, all you get is blank stares or polite shrugs. Now here's the truth. Most TV pilots fail for one reason. It's not bad writing, it's not weak characters, it's the missing story engine. Your beautiful pilot without a story engine is essentially the TV equivalent of a designer kitchen with no appliances. Gorgeous to look at, but completely useless for its intended purpose. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to fix that using a dead simple framework that you can use for your next pilot. So stick around because this is how you go from nice script to let's make a series. What's happening, party people? This is James A. Hurst, internationally tolerated screenwriter, story nerd, and reluctant adult. Welcome to my channel where we turn big ideas into binge-worthy scripts. After this video, here's what you'll be able to do. Identify what a story engine is and why most writers get it wrong. Analyze successful pilots to see how their story engines work, and use a simple 4-step formula to build a story engine for your pilot. Before we dive in, if you're writing a pilot, you want to make sure your idea is strong enough to support it. So you want to grab my free PDF, Will My Pilot Work? Click the link below to get your free copy and start writing a TV pilot that really works. So let me tell you about a show I was brought in to consult on. I was recently hired to consult on a show in development, and the show had everything: a killer premise, complex characters, an intriguing world, a really well-written pilot, and writers with an original voice. So you'd think it was a slam dunk, right? But no, because as strong as that pilot was, there was no clear system for generating ongoing stories, no story engine. So I spent months working with the writers, pushing them to clarify the engine, but they just didn't seem to think it was all that important. And that show, it never got greenlit, simply because there was no clear story engine. Because you got to remember, you don't greenlight a pilot, you greenlight a series. Trying to sell a pilot without a clear story engine is like trying to sell a truck with no engine. You know, sure, they might give the truck a look, but eventually they're going to ask, hey, why aren't we moving? And you'll be standing there awkwardly making vroom vroom noises with your mouth. So it's essential that your pilot models the story engine. Makes sense, right? But first, let's make sure that we're really clear about what a story engine is, because there's a lot of confusion about them. Probably the easiest way to define a story engine is to explain what it isn't. A story engine isn't the logline, the theme, or the character's arc. Those are all really important elements, don't get me wrong, but they don't generate ongoing stories. So what is a story engine in simple terms? A story engine is an invisible framework built into the pilot that will generate ongoing stories across multiple episodes and seasons. The story engine demonstrates how your series will produce fresh, compelling stories without becoming repetitive or stalling out. When producers and development execs read your pilot, they're looking for more than a clever concept, dazzling dialogue, and intriguing characters. Sure, those things matter a lot, but they're also looking for proof that your show has legs. They need to intuit that your show can generate stories faster than Netflix cancels series people actually like. They need to sense in your pilot the invisible, underlying framework that will generate fresh, compelling stories episode after episode. That's why your story engine matters. It's the drivetrain of your series, assuring stakeholders that your concept can go the distance. Without it, your beautiful pilot is just a Ferrari with no engine, gorgeous to look at, impossible to drive. So now that you've got some clarity on the importance of story engines, how do we build one? Well, if only some esteemed veteran TV writer and showrunner could come up with a simple 4-component formula to follow. Unfortunately, we couldn't find an esteemed showrunner, so I came up with one. I've studied hundreds of pilot scripts, and I've written a bunch too. One of them even got greenlit and made into a series that went for 4 seasons. The series is called Instant Star, and if you haven't heard of it, it was awarded the Nobel Prize for Best Angsty Teen Music Drama that aired on basic cable in the mid-2000s. Anyway, I've studied pilots very closely and identified the 4 essential components for building a reliable story engine. 1, central character, the hero or heroes we follow across multiple seasons. 2, central goal, something ongoing that keeps them motivated, not just in the pilot, but in every episode. 3, web of conflict, interpersonal and internal conflicts that will fuel storylines and create obstacles within those storylines. 4, unique arena, a setting that actively generates story. These 4 components aren't just ingredients you throw together to automatically create a story engine. They're the foundation you need to build a functioning story engine. The magic happens in how you tailor those components to work together. Let's look at my favorite comedy on the air right now to see how this works in practice. If you haven't seen it, Hacks follows legendary comedian Deborah Vance, whose decades-long Las Vegas residency is threatened when the casino lets her go. It also follows Ava, a young comedy writer whose promising career implodes after an offensive tweet.
I tweeted a joke about that closeted senator who's sending his son to conversion therapy camp or whatever, and everybody freaked out, and then some other asshole dug up some stupid shit I said when I was like 20 years old, and I lost my deal.
Their worlds collide when they're forced to work together. Deborah needs fresh material to save her career, and Ava desperately needs a job. Deborah's trying to stay relevant in an industry that worships youth, while Ava is trying to recover from a career-ending tweet. Deborah needs Ava to help her become relevant, and Ava needs Deborah to show her how to thrive in a male-dominated industry. They need each other, but they clash constantly.
Oh, honey, no. There is no line. It's just not funny. I mean, you should be blacklisted for how bad that joke is.
What makes the story engine so strong is that the goal keeps them together, the conflict keeps them fighting, and the arena constantly throws new challenges at them. Let's look at the 4 components of this story engine. Central characters: Deborah Vance and Ava Daniels. Central goal: revitalize Deborah's career while developing Ava's voice as a comic. Web of conflict: generational clashes, creative differences, personal baggage. Unique arena: the high-stakes world of stand-up in Las Vegas and beyond. Now, I'm certain that the creator showrunners of Hacks didn't think that analytically about their story engine. They likely just knew how to build one instinctively from their work on award-winning shows like Broad City, The Good Place, and Parks and Rec. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait years to gain all that experience. You can apply the story engine framework to your next pilot right now. Let's see how to do that. Step 1, define your central character or characters. Clearly identify who your story is about, the characters audiences will connect with across multiple episodes and seasons. Step 2, clarify your central goal. Establish your character's ongoing goal, making sure it's compelling and sustainable so that you can motivate storylines long term. Step 3, create a rich web of conflict. Develop multiple layers of conflict, external, internal, and interpersonal, to continually challenge your characters and fuel storylines, and create obstacles within episodes. Step 4, define your arena. Choose a setting or world that inherently generates fresh, engaging conflicts and opportunities for your characters. The arena could be a hospital where life and death decisions happen on the daily, or a police precinct where crime never sleeps, or say a talking dolphin research facility where the dolphins gossip shamelessly about the researchers' poor life choices. That one's called Gossip Dolphins, and is coming to Bravo next season. To make sure your pilot demonstrates your story engine, test your script with this question. Does my pilot give a clear model of how new stories will naturally emerge every week? If the answer isn't a resounding yes, then revisit your 4 key components: central character, central goal, web of conflict, and unique arena, and see where you need to clarify or strengthen. Remember, without a story engine, your pilot has the same chance of getting greenlit as I do of being cast as the next James Bond. Theoretically possible, but realistically not a chance in hell. I'm James A. Hurst for Screenright. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips about screenwriting and the art of story. And if you know someone who might find this video helpful, do me a favor and share it with them. I'd really appreciate that. Until next time, be easy, stay awesome, and keep writing.